This was the start, Shannon, for the WSL Longboard Tour, stop number 1 here in Manly.
My favorite sport in the world. I was so excited to see longboarding here, and it was an exceptional event to get things started because longboarders, we love small waves. We love charging on bigger waves as well, but small waves allow us to showcase that footwork, that variety, that grace, and that style. And to be able to see Honolua Blomfield walk away, she tends to win every year that there's multiple events on the calendar, and now that the WSL has confirmed that, and we've got 3 events to crown the world champion, Honolua is going to be a tough one to beat.
Well, let's take a look at that women's longboard final, and Honolua Blomfield came out and just did her magic again on the water.
This was a really crazy heat because the weather just showed up. I had a chat with Chloe Calmon after the finish, and she said it was actually raining so heavy that they could not see the lineup. So their wave selection was literally going in blind. Honolua found a couple of beautiful nose rides, those 5 to 10 combinations. It walked her into that 6-point range. We didn't see either of the women scratch into the excellent scores at all, which was surprising for both of them. But it was just that consistency coming through from Honolua to be able to capitalize and put the finishing touches on her waves that overtook the really good footwork, the grace that Chloe Calmon brings into the equation.
Yeah, absolutely. They just get up on that 10 so well, don't they? So graceful. And I kind of thought Chloe was going to have a really good shot at this on the predominant left-hand bank and her being on the goofy footer. But she is just, Honolua is just so good. She just won't lay down, will she?
She is, honestly, she's so consistent. She is the Caity Simmers within that mental conversation of just not getting too fazed by who's around her, who's in the lineup. Honolua really just thrives under pressure and walked away to a great victory here. Those smaller scores on the board, it was a really kind of a challenging heat because the waves were really difficult to pick apart, but for both of the women, they brought in that beautiful footwork. They brought in the variety they needed to, and it was Honolua who just inched ahead of Chloe, 2 for 2 in final matchups now in the World Longboard Tour for them.
Well, that was the women's longboarding. Let's take a look at the men's longboarding because we saw Harrison Roach get one back on Ben Skinner, Rich.
Yeah, we did, and you get the feeling that there's a really healthy rivalry starting to develop between those two good friends, and obviously it was the Australian that got the nod today. Harrison Roach, he's just one of the most sort of stylish and accomplished longboarders now, and just so versatile in all of his surfing and what he can produce, and obviously feeding off some of the other codes and injecting it into his longboard approach here, and just amazing stuff.
Here's our final highlights, Shannon.
So excited to see Harrison Roach just find some rhythm, find some momentum, get those excellent scores in, quick footwork, and you can really see those bumpy sections. For him to charge an in section like that, going no leg rope, just putting all that commitment and that risk, that's such an important part of the criteria, really risking it on those opening nose rides. He's also a surfer that engages the rail better than anybody else in that longboard conversation with so much style and grace, but he connects it with power, and it was a really well-fought battle coming through from both of those surfers. Finding pretty incredible wave selection. For Ben Skinner to be able to match back with an excellent score himself, he was a really tough one to beat for Harrison Roach. He killed Harry's world title hopes last year, and he's coming in really adjusting to a new criteria and the traditional side of things, looking up to one of his heroes in the sport, Harrison Roach. And it's just really fun to see the respect developing between these two, the rivalry between these two, and to see Harry walk out now with an opportunity to win a world title.
Yeah, good for Harrison Roach. And you can see the numbers there. Excellent heat for Roach, a 16.5 two-wave total, couple of scores in the excellent range, Rich, and what a great overall presentation that we saw today.
Oh, it was unreal. It was really cool seeing the sort of diversity between the longboarding and the classic lines and that nod to the traditional style of surfing. And then, I was thinking back to how they would have been approaching their final, watching shortboarding and looking, going, okay, well, they're doing an air reverse there, but I would be doing a hang 10 here, So it's great that it's all been intertwined all week and everyone's thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, let's look towards our men's longboard rankings after one event, and it's easy to say Harrison Roach is going to be on top.
This is huge. There's going to be 3 events in the tour this year. It's going to be the best 2 results that count towards that world championship. 5,000 points on the line here, 5,000 points at the Vans Duct Tape Invitational at the US Open, and 10,000 on the line for the world championships at Malibu. So for Harry to already have 5,000 points, That's huge. And we've got a big international field. We've got Great Britain and Ben Skinner. No surprises to see him sitting there on top. The Hawaiian standouts like Kai Salas and Kanyella Stewart. Declan Whiten out of Australia now sitting up there within that top conversation. It's exceptional.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Sorry, Kipes.
I just want to take a look at our women's rankings right now. Honolua Blomfield on top, Rich.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess sort of no surprises there because she is just that good. And a great matchup there. There's sort of going to be a dyno kind of challenge going on between Honolua and Chloe there, but some amazing names in the mix. Loving seeing Tully White there, another one of the local Manly favourites.
Totally. We've got former world champions like Soleil Erico, Rachel Tilley sitting in that conversation alongside Honolua Blomfield, and then a whole crop of women who have been biting at the bullet. They've been wanting to get those world titles. Now they're in that top 10 conversation heading into the second event of the series, and it's going to be really cool to see who comes out on